After being locked in a cell for 29 hours, Jesse, who has been accused of killing a woman who is in her care with a fatal dose of eye drops, decides it's time to reveal some information to the police. She knows who the real killer is. Let's watch.
The universal fine.
People here right now.
That should know it's here because there was someone floating in the lake. Might be someone a dead body.
Oh. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so they were all up there. That's why it was just me and you at the end here yesterday. Well, you said you wanted to come see us, so.
I did. I wanted to know that was part of it, if I could do that. I want to know anything I can do. Because I literally sat awake all night, probably about most of the night except for 5 minutes. I want to know if the medical examiner can redo something, talk to another place, what else I can do on my end. I sat here all night and I did 4 years for something I did. I can't do for something I didn't do. And I feel like this is like a lifetime of a sentence that I'm possibly facing, and I didn't do it. And I was up all night long trying to think of everything and anything. I was thinking of the visines. I was thinking of her waters. I was wondering, she normally always had like 1 or 2 waters by her. Was any of that checked? I don't know. I was thinking of literally everything because I'm like, I want to know what more we can do or I can do. I mean, my biggest thing right now is I am ready to try to find an attorney because I feel like no matter what, I'm going down for this. And I feel like I'm going to need help. I shouldn't be, but after what you guys left me with yesterday, I had a really long night thinking of everything possible. Everything. And I'm not kidding. I mean, I was ransacking, trying to remember so much stuff that I just don't remember anymore. But I was trying to think of any possibility, that day, the timelines, everything. I mean, I was really on it, so.
I guess the suggestion I can make is you need to tell the truth.
I am telling the truth.
It doesn't sure seem like it. I mean, there's just a series of inconsistencies and half-truths, if you want to say that, calm lies. Your story, your recollection doesn't match the physical evidence of things.
What I want to know that you said yesterday is about the visine. How much visine are we talking about?
Drop the visine. Drop it.
Why is that?
That's not changing. We told you yesterday.
I understand.
The medical examiner made that decision. She's made that ruling. That's not changing. It's been almost a year. She has done tests. She's done
But
several.
I never heard how much, and you guys are saying she can't drink that by herself or put it in food or whatever. So that's what I'm trying. I don't know how much we're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm just curious.
Well, we told you.
I want to know.
We told
No,
you.
you never told me.
Yeah.
You told me 60 something. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's cups, bottles. What I don't know is what I'm saying. For me, this is frustrating. So I want to know as much as I can know. I mean, I know you guys think I probably
She died
all
from
the
visine.
time. You said that already.
Yeah.
But how much?
Ingesting it, not through the eye.
No,
through the mouth.
you said that too.
Mm-hmm.
But how much, can kill a person is what I want to know, or how much was in her system. That's what I'm asking.
160 parts are in her system.
But I don't understand, is that this? Is that a whole bottle? Is that 2 bottles? I'm trying to figure out how much it was. That's what I'm asking.
I can't give you an honest answer because they're still researching or developing.
That was
that
my
science.
curiosity because you guys are saying she couldn't do it. I'm like, well, realistically, anybody can drink some water if it's in there or putting whatever. I guess I wasn't understanding, is it a little bit or a lot of it? I don't know. I don't understand. So that's why I'm asking it. Obviously, you guys don't like that answer, but that's the truth.
No,
I wouldn't be asking if I didn't want to know. It was on my mind. So you told me the 60 whatever, but I didn't know what that meant physically. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay, I can't give you an honest answer because I don't know how many bottles.
Okay. So where are things at then right now?
We're still investigating you for homicide. That's what we're doing.
And nobody else?
No one at this point.
You tell us.
I mean, I asked you yesterday.
The only other person I could think of, and I thought this last night, I'm not saying she would do it. I just was trying to think. She had the keys. Her neighbor. I literally was up all night long. I'm not blaming your neighbor, accusing her. I'm just giving you a name.
Well, Gene wasn't the one that was getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from Lynn, and Gene wasn't the one opening credit cards and trying to do loans in her name.
Everything.
Let me ask you something, Jesse. Chris said the best thing possible.
Yeah.
It's time to tell the truth because this is it. This is true, real life here. Okay. Everybody we've talked to, you've lied to. You've lied to Scott. You've lied to your mom. We talked to your mom yesterday.
What did I lie to her about?
She said there's no reason Lynn should have given you any money.
Lynn gave me money when back in the day
Why is it though that Lynn Jennifer, your mom, said specifically that you should not have gotten large amounts of money from Lynn?
Because she didn't know about it. These were
Why did Scott know about it?
Scott did know about most of it.
Well, Scott said, she's not getting money, I'm giving her money.
Scott's crying, saying that his life is over. You screwed him over.
Well, that was about the house.
So why is he under the assumption Lynn was in the hospital the last 5 months of her life?
Because she was
in a coma. In a coma. In a coma? And you're going in the middle of the night to go see her.
Why does he think Lynn died at Freighter?
She didn't die at Freighter.
No, we know that. He was surprised when we told him that she died at her condo and you found her. So he says, no, she was at the hospital.
Because I was supposed to drive his daughter to practice that day, and I said, I can't do it.
I talked to him last night, and he was pretty clear. Talked to him today again.
Yeah. No, I talked to him today, too. He was screaming at me about the house the whole day. That's what he kept yelling at me about. He said the house is trashed.
Well, we searched the house.
I get it.
I mean, the funny thing is, you sit here and you're laughing.
The funny thing is,
you're literally laughing.
I'm not laughing that she died.
Your life, Jess.
I understand that. This is a huge deal. I'm looking at like a life sentence right now. That's a huge deal.
We're trying to figure it out. What happened?
But the money that you guys keep talking about, majority of the money she gave me in the large amounts was over a year before she died. She gave me smaller amounts towards the end. The bigger amounts, when I got out of prison, I had loans in my mom's name, my grandma's name. My PO knew all about them. I had loans, tons of loans. They never filed on them. So all those loans were coming forward years later. If you look on Lynn's check stubs, they stated the ones they're for.
Let me ask you something. And this isn't your best interest to tell the truth. Did you ever write out a check from Lynn to you? Did you ever write it out?
Did I write one out?
Did you write one out? Did you ever sign Lynn's name? Did you ever sign Lynn's name?
I have paid bills for her, but a check to me, no. She did one from her account to rent it to me online, and I was with her in presence. But as far as writing, I don't think I've ever wrote one. I mean, I had access to all of her funds, but I don't think I personally wrote one to myself.
Don't you think it's curious that somebody got like $200,000 minimum over a 2-year span?
It was a 3-year span. And the bigger chunks were way before she died. That was not anywhere close.
So why did she give you all this money?
I just explained that. I had so much debt.
Why does she care about your debt?
Because that was what she was. She always cared. Like, these people were coming after her, and Mom and Grandma never...
Why would she give your mom money and specifically write a letter saying, don't make sure Jesse gets none of this money?
Well, that was when I first got out of prison. She also changed everything out of my mom's name to mine. I didn't do that.
Why would she do that?
Because when I first got out of prison, she was leery. So she didn't want me to have access to stuff. She ended up trusting me and changed everything because she didn't want my mom to do it. She helped my mom a ton, too.
Did you ever claim that on taxes?
No, I didn't claim all of it on taxes. I know I have to, for one, because if she's helping and she's paying half the bills directly, not even just me.
Somebody gets $200,000, you got to claim it on taxes.
It wasn't in 1 year either. We keep saying this. This was over a 3-year span. So I get what you guys are saying, but majority of this was like a year before she died. When she was still alive, her hand was smaller.
We don't do financial. We have a forensic accountant from the IRS look at all the accounts because that's what they do. And this is what he's telling us. $194,000 over the last 2 years.
It's 3, but
minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. This is the stuff, the solid checks and account transfers. That's not any cash.
And if you look on the bottom of all her checks that she writes, she puts what they're for.
Yeah, once to the IRS, they never received any funds from me.
The IRS should never even check
for you.
out.
Yeah, in the memo it says IRS to you.
I've never asked her for IRS money. That one I know for sure I've never asked for.
The IRS guy was kind of surprised. Here's one. Here's it was like 12 grand or something, or 14. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it says IRS in the memo. He goes, well, we didn't get that.
I haven't owed IRS that kind of money ever. I don't know. I didn't fill out the memo. She did it. She filled it out.
You're very close to your mom.
Yes, very close.
So why wouldn't your mom know about how much?
Why don't you tell her?
Because my mom didn't want.
Your
They
friends
didn't want my mom knowing half of it.
So
It wasn't me.
your mom wasn't suspicious that all of a sudden now your bills are paid, your debt's gone.
No, she didn't really know half of it. Part of it, the few things that there was stuff in my grandma's and my mom's name. She covered those because we kept hearing from them, and they didn't file when I went in. If you ask my deal, she knows all this. There was a ton of them. She didn't file on them, my grandma or my mom, so I got more charges. But those creditors still come out there. They still want to get paid. So by the time they were coming out later on, after I did my prison time, they were 4, 5, 6 times more. And Lynn said, I don't want them coming after your mom because that's what they're going to do at this point. I'm not lying about that. I'm dead serious.
How much do you owe restitution?
Appeal. Quite a bit.
When you hit the 70 large,
Yeah.
why didn't you pay the restitution off and get the monkey off your back?
Because we paid our creditors.
I mean, how much money were you in debt because you got all that money from when?
Scott had a credit card of $17,000 and $25,000 was just for taxes. And then I had my few.
Of all the people we've talked to in the last 24 hours, you know who was the most credible of all of them?
No idea.
Scott.
Oh, I'm sure.
He knows nothing about anything law enforcement or jail related or nothing.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't understand shit about what's going on.
No, he doesn't.
And at first I thought he might be a knob.
No, he's not. He's a great guy.
And I talked to him a couple minutes that morning. I'm going to be sitting on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron's talked to him extensively over the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart goes out to that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he says, I don't know who she is.
That's what he said. I know. It's
I don't know. My world is crumbling. He's on his knees in the parking lot crying because all the lies you told him.
I didn't tell him any lies. He just didn't know about him part of the money. It wasn't that I lied to him. I just didn't tell him.
When he told her,
Lying by omission.
I get it.
his heart was like ripped out when he says, well, she got about $200,000 over the last 2 years, and he's like, I'm a cardiac arrest is how you describe it. He's like, I've been giving her money. She watches my kids. I don't know nothing of this.
He's giving me money. Okay.
Was he lying?
That part isn't true.
I mean, you're living together.
Yeah,
I mean,
we both pay for stuff, but that part, he doesn't officially give me money for anything, no.
why?
But he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He seems like a normal,
Yeah, I know.
normal
He's having a really
person.
hard time with all this right now. A really hard time.
I mean, your house was clean.
That's completely trash.
Well, when I said, it's not trash, like someone ransacked it, it's
That's what
searched.
he said.
So everything has gone through. For a guy that keeps a neat house, it looks like chaos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the most baffling thing. Like, he is convinced that you told him when was in the hospital for several weeks with a coma, and that's where she died.
I said she was in the hospital, and I mean, I don't know how well you guys know guys, because you guys are guys, so I'll be honest. I can talk to Scott a million times, it goes right in and right out. And I know you guys are thinking, yeah, whatever. But he never met Lynn.
Yeah.
He knew I was going out there a lot. He knew there was a lot going on. But I swear, I talked to him when I found her, because I was supposed to take his daughter to softball that night.
But he
So
also
I was
said that
sitting.
you would get up in the middle of the night, at all hours of the night, even between midnight and 8 a.m., and allegedly get a call from Lynn. From
Yeah,
the hospital. I checked your phone records. It's not there. No.
Yeah.
You would get calls from the hospital saying you need to come. Lynn's in bad shape.
They
And
have
you'd be
phone
gone for an
calls.
hour. And you'd be gone for an hour
Yeah.
or two and come back.
Where was I going?
You tell me.
I didn't have another boyfriend.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you were doing, but I'm saying you weren't going to Lynn's house.
Are you sure about that? Because I didn't have another boyfriend, so that's why I'm curious as to where I'd be going. Because numerous times is when she called me falling, so I'd be out by her.
Again, this is the guy who swears he told me she was in a coma.
No.
Why?
Never said that. Swear to God.
Why do you think he's so upset?
Oh, I get it. I'd be upset too.
But why do you think he is so upset? Why does he think that you have totally, he doesn't know you, you've totally...
Because he woke up to a morning with you guys at the door, coming to get me, which he knew last time I came in by you guys for questioning.
Yeah.
He knew last week when I told him that you guys called. I told him all that. I don't lie, so I don't know where he's getting...
Well, why is he even still today still so upset? It's not just because his house is a mess.
Oh, he's going to be upset for a while, I'm sure.
Well, why do you think he's upset? Why would he tell you you're done?
Because he doesn't know everything.
What doesn't he know?
As far as the money-wise, he doesn't know all of it. When me and Lynn did a lot of this, we didn't talk about it. So I think you guys are thinking 2 years ago I did this. Obviously, you can tell a difference in handwriting. That's Lynn's writing. I didn't.
No, I've seen that. They're not all the same.
Yeah.
And
the only ones that I did were the ones for the bills at the end, and that was with her in the hospital writing them. She has a very signature.
Have you ever looked up anything with visine poisoning?
No.
You've never heard about visine poisoning?
From the movie, yeah.
That's just making someone sick, but you've never heard about someone poisoning with visine.
I've heard somebody getting sick with it, diarrhea, but not poisoning, no. I've never heard somebody dying from visine ever in my life.
Never once.
No. I've heard somebody getting sick from it, that's what I just said, but I've never heard somebody dying from it, no.
Okay.
Not dying. I didn't really know that was a thing, to be honest, until you said it.
How do you think you did on the polygraph?
I think I did very well.
I think you did horrible.
Who's it? They already know?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Why don't you see that?
Because I didn't fail it. I know I didn't fail it. I couldn't have.
Why is that?
Because I'm not lying about it. I didn't do anything to her. I really did not do anything to her, and I know you guys are thinking this because of money. It's not because of money that I would ever hurt her. I wouldn't hurt her for any reason because she's a great person. She helped me money-wise, financially, and now you guys think because of that I killed her for it?
And I told you yesterday, I think she wanted to die and you helped her. That's what I think.
I think you picked out a perfect victim. I think you picked out somebody with no family and no friends. And
I was her family. So was my mom.
Exactly. That's it. You guys, just you two.
Yeah. So why would I want to get rid of her?
Because she was running out of money. And you were opening credit cards and you opened up loans in her name.
I didn't do anything without her permission. Nothing.
What's the jury going to think?
What's who?
The jury's going to think.
I'm sure it's not going to look good.
It's not going to look good.
I get that. But I can't sit here and say something else.
The truth would be nice.
The truth, other than laughing when we're telling you that we
because it's so frustrating that I've been saying the same thing for days, and you guys want me to say something that I can't say because I didn't do it.
I want you to be honest and talk about what happened that day.
I am honest about it. I explained to you that I've gotten the visine for her. I never put anything for her. Ever. Never. I bought it for her. That's as far as I've gotten. I've never even put it in her eyes for her.
Where did you get the visine from?
Store.
What store?
Walgreens or Pick and Save, any of them. Walmart, I mean, everywhere's got visine, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure do. Be nice to see that you buying it, though, because, like I said, you said there were bottles right by her. There weren't.
That's what frustrates me because I'm sure. I don't know because I can't look at the picture. She always had one or two by her, the same within her bathroom. Always. Just like her water. And I mean, the other thing is did anybody check her water?
Well, why would we check her water? Because at the time,
even so, pills or something in it.
At the time, somebody looked like it was staged.
It looked like a suicide at the time.
Yeah.
It looked like a
But Chris, you killed yourself with the visine, but yet decided to stage yourself with the pills.
Well, I know, that's what doesn't
My thought was, that plate was full of pills.
Yeah.
Barely anything was even taken off of it from what I saw.
There's crushed up pills in her mouth. There's crushed up powder around her mouth. There's crushed up powder around her nose. Somebody made it very, 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 very obvious.
And she had none of that in her system whatsoever.
No, it was less than therapeutic levels, which means it wasn't even.
Well, she had a full plate. So, okay, obviously she had a full plate. She didn't take very much of it. There was nothing in her system except for the 2 pills. I find that hard to believe.
There's 2 pills.
Because she also took more pills for that morning than 2 pills when I was there.
Well, forensic pathologists and doctors and people who did testing disagree with you. And it's not just, it didn't happen yesterday, it happened almost a year ago. So it has been a very lengthy investigation on their end.
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, the medical examiner is pretty serious. She doesn't want to call this a homicide or a murder if she can't explain it.
That's why she hasn't ruled yet. But she keeps telling us, Chris, I'm leaning toward a homicide because it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But she's trying every which way.
I'm trying to think of everything I can think of. I swear on everything I love, I did not give her that visine. I didn't put it in anything. I don't know what more to make you guys believe me because I didn't do it. If I did, I would have just said, yeah, I helped her.
Oh,
honestly, I wish I could
just say, yeah, I did.
If I did it, I didn't do it. Because I'd be helping her. That'd be 10 times less worse than not helping her and just trying to kill her. It would be. I understand that. I understand there's a difference either way, but either way, they're both considered murder. But versus helping her where I'm just helping her or helping her to financially gain myself.
One's going to look a lot better than the other. One's explainable. One's, hey, I'm trying to have mercy on this lady who's having some really tough medical times. The other, which I think is just that this was all for financial stuff, that I think it was. I think either she was out of money, or
she wasn't out of money,
or she caught on to something.
No.
And I think she was real sick and wanted to die. And if you didn't squirt it in your mouth directly, you went and got it for her.
I did get it for her. I said that.
Both of the bottles for her because they're not.
That was the other thing I thought of.
We got pictures all over.
The last time I threw out visine bottles was probably about 3 days before. Mm-hmm. And that was when I took out her trash, and there was quite a few in there. I did think of that last night. It was like 2 or 3 days before. It was after the hospital, but that was the last time I took out her garbage and threw out bottles. I did think of that because I was thinking of that over and over again. And before the hospital, it was probably about a week before that.
This was recent. It was that day.
They weren't that day, I'm telling you. I know that for a fact.
Again, originally I thought this happened over a period of time.
So
9 months.
Let's get this. So you guys are saying, what happens if, I'm just asking, because this is my theory and I'm still thinking it, because I would love to see the pictures. I'd like to know if there was water by her. There was always water by her. My theory is, what if those were in the water and they were in there for days? Or they were in the vodka and they were in there for days? The visine stays in there, does it not? Or does it disappear over time? That's what I'm curious about. Because you keep saying you're not seeing bottles, but there were other things in the room. So I'm trying.
So you spiked the vodka, is that what you're telling me?
No, I am trying to think of different possibilities because
Why would she conceal her own?
Why would somebody sit there and just drink a bottle of visine?
Because that's what you would do if you wanted to kill yourself because you don't care anymore.
It's weird to me. I would think you would put it in something. That's my opinion.
But why is the bottle not around? Did you clean up lots of bottles from her?
No, I said the last thing I did was 2 or 3 days before. It was the last time I threw out a bunch of them. And it was maybe 4 or 5. And that was like her regular. But that was the last time. And it was not the day she died. I can tell you that honestly. I didn't throw anything out the day she died. Nothing. I'm still trying to figure out the phone call you saying to me call my mom. Because I walked in and called 911. So I don't know if I called my mom when I was still outside. And I also know my mom didn't answer too. Because I couldn't get a hold of her for hours that day.
So how would you know when you called her?
I didn't.
Last night you told me you don't remember. But you remember you didn't talk to her.
No. I'm saying I couldn't have talked to her. I couldn't get a hold of her after the ambulance came and I kept calling her. I couldn't get a hold of her for hours. So I'm saying if you saw a call 4 minutes before, it was probably just a phone call and not talking to her because I couldn't get a hold of her all day that day. I thought of that. I was like, no, even if I called her, I didn't call her until hours, well, not hours later, but I was calling her 4 hours. I couldn't get a hold of her.
I also know you said you were only there for an hour or two, and you were there for almost 4 hours.
I don't remember how many hours I was there for.
And you were not right to pick and save in Hales Corners that day.
Did you check all pick and saves in the area?
I checked the one where you told me you were at.
Okay. Did you check Lynn's WIC card or whatever? Because I used it at whatever store I was at, and I could swear it was Highway Hunter and Pick and Save. If it wasn't that one, it was Highway Hunter and National. Those are the two I shop at. It wasn't the one by your house.
I'm still waiting for the WIC cards. But I'm telling you.
I can tell you, once you find it, though, that's going to prove where I was. I know that whole
Where else
part
did
of
you
it.
go that day then?
I went to 3 stores that day.
Okay.
One was Walmart, one was Pick and Save, and I want to say the other was Woodman's, but I don't know 100%.
And then where'd you go after that?
I went back home to unload everything. I
You
saw
stay
Scott
home?
before.
Would you stay home in Franklin or West Dallas? Or
No,
where you living
Scott.
Okay.
No. But back home by Scott, I unloaded whatever I had, and then I had 2 cases of water in the trunk for Lynn's house.
And then you went back to Lynn, and that's
Yep.
when you found her.
Yep. Yeah, and I was supposed to come back and take his daughter to softball practice the same day.
And obviously you missed that.
Yeah.
Do you miss her?
I miss her a lot.
You sorry about what happened?
Yeah. I miss her every day because she was fun. She was fun. I'd go out there and have drinks with her, and we'd just sit and hang out. I could talk to her better than my own mom. She was a great person. She used to have the house, the lake house, and we used to go out there. I had my graduation party out there, my 18th graduation.
Did your mom was jealous of your relationship, maybe? Do you think your mom's capable of this?
I don't.
Do you think your mom talks about the money and
think so, but I don't know. I know my mom doesn't know about the money, and Lynn didn't want her to know because Lynn did a lot for my mom. And she didn't want her to know she was helping me because she knew it would be a situation. She knew she helped me a little, not to the extent. She did. But she didn't. That was Lynn's doing. Lynn did not want my mom knowing. It was not me
so
who
if your
everyone
mom
thinks.
found out, do you think she would have been upset?
I mean, sure, she'd be upset. I don't think this kind of upset, but she'd be upset where she'd tell me
Your
all.
mom capable? I mean, because capable of going to kill her?
I don't see it.
She's capable of using very foul language on a voicemail. That's what she's capable of.
I know that.
She's probably a more likable person than
My
that
mom's a
voicemail.
very feisty person when she
Feisty
drinks.
people with short fuses can do things.
I couldn't tell you. Do I see it? No, but I don't know what everyone's capable of in the world. I don't.
It's your mother. I can tell you, my mother can't kill anyone.
I don't think she could, but I know she's tried to kill herself numerous times. But I don't.
I gotta take you that paperwork. Let's take it for a few minutes. Be back for maybe 10 or 15.
Can I ask you guys, is there like a bubbler or something?
I'll get you some water.
Sorry, that's not mine. I'm just so
Yeah,
thirsty.
yeah. So when I talked to Scott today,
Mm-hmm.
he told me a really interesting story.
Yeah.
That a few months ago you guys went out and you came home and you didn't feel well. You felt funny. And you went to the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and you told them that you had been poisoned with, someone said that they had poisoned, the doctor told you that you had been poisoned with visine.
There was somebody that we went out with. But it was just, they were throwing up. It wasn't, they didn't die.
And he said it was you.
No, it wasn't.
You. He said you went to the hospital.
No. I went with my girlfriend who was sick. She went to walk in. But it wasn't me.
Yeah. He said it was. Why would he tell us that?
I have no idea, because it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
You think he just would tell you that for
No.
no reason?
I don't, but it wasn't me. It was our friend that we went out with. It wasn't me at all. It was my girlfriend. We went down to Pistol Pete's to watch a band. She woke up the next day feeling sick, but she didn't die from it. She was just sick.
Who's your friend?
Her name is Tina. I don't know how do you say her last name. Spell her last name. I don't know. She works at Scotty's. I don't know what her last name is. They call her T-Rock.
Would Scott know who she is?
Yeah. Yeah, we both know who she is. But I really would feel better if you guys just left Scott alone at this point.
No.
Because I have to too, obviously.
No. Scott's very cooperative and he wants to help us with this investigation.
Oh, well, that I'm sure is fine.
Why would we leave Scott alone?
Well, because if he's helping us, one thing. I just don't want you guys bothering him with his personal life because
If someone
he
doesn't
feels bad about his kids right now and the house and me. Obviously, he's.
Yeah, I think you're his first priority. He feels his world's been turned upside down.
I'm not for priorities. His kids are obviously.
Well, but he's also concerned about
what's going to happen.
He feels he's had the wool pulled over his eyes the past year, which he has.
I don't agree with that, but he does all the same stuff I do. So he's just making out to act like he doesn't do anything. He doesn't go gambling. He doesn't go out and have fun. That's absurd.
But when someone gets a couple $100,000 from somebody and they don't know about it,
he knew about half of it. So that's another thing he's not telling you guys.
how would he know about half of it?
He knew about part of it for certain things. Yeah, he did know about it. Not all of it. He knew certain times when she did it for certain things. Yes, he did.
So you just have no explanation for this.
I don't. I honestly don't. I didn't give it to her. I can tell you that. I bought it for her. I didn't give it to her.
When was the last time you bought Visine for her prior to her dying?
While she was in the hospital.
Like how long ago?
I want to say maybe her third or fourth day there she wanted it.
And how many boxes did you buy?
Probably 5 or 6 like usual. And 2 of them she kept at the hospital, she took the other ones home. Or had me take the other ones home. So she had them sitting on her tray at the hospital. The reason I can be 100% honest with you, I'm not buying what they're saying, and I'm not buying the deal for her.
So you're not buying what forensic pathologists, doctors who are trained and do this for a living, you're not
I
buying.
sat with her in her house on Monday, and she was drinking vodka and Visine.
Now, how do you know she was drinking vodka and Visine?
Because that's what she had mixed together. And that was the day before.
How do you know she had mixed Visine with her vodka?
Because that's what she did. She's done it about 3 times.
Why didn't you tell us that yesterday?
Because I didn't want to tell you guys, because you guys are making it sound like it happened the day of, and that's not when she was doing that. She didn't have any more that I knew of the next day. And I'm getting tired of being put on me because I didn't.
You ever put the vodka in her Visine?
Never.
Vodka. So
Right.
she put Visine in her vodka. Why would she put Visine in her
Because she
vodka?
wanted something with it.
And Visine's the option?
No. She looked at the Visine a long time ago, and I already told you that. When I told you she was buying multiple. She was looking for her way out, and because she tried those twice and it wasn't working. She was looking for her way.
And when was that? The day before, you said?
The day before is when she had the vodka mixed with it. And it was a glass probably about that big.
And how much Visine did she
I
use?
don't know that because she had a quart in her vodka bottle prior. Last time I bought the bottle, she dumped them in her vodka. That's why I asked how many days it lasts for in there. Because she did it about 3 times and she'd get so sick that she'd shit all over, and that's when she shit her room, and I had to clean that up when she was in the hospital.
And why was she putting the Visine in the vodka?
She was doing it because she was trying to find an easy way out.
She's trying
She
to
did
kill
the
herself.
pills first numerous times. That wasn't working.
So she was trying to kill herself
Yeah.
by drinking visine and vodka.
She also bought a gun offline
When?
that I disposed of for her before she died too.
When? How long?
Oh, 2 months, a month. She did a lot of things. I just didn't want to have to put it all out there. Yeah. She bought a gun
What are you
offline.
worried about? What are you used to worry about you? Was your city?
I'm worried
right
because
there.
you guys are making me feel like I did it, and I didn't do it. You said that whole thing I put in there, and I didn't. And the whole money thing, I think you guys are just turning it, making me look like shit, and I didn't do anything with the money that she didn't approve of. Never. I didn't ever. But I didn't want to put her out there as being a piece of shit either. Hey, she bought the gun.
Piece of shit.
She bought the gun.
Someone wants to end their life.
Because I didn't want her to do it. I didn't want her to do it as much as I did so much.
But you didn't even stop her then. So with your theory now, you didn't even stop her.
I did stop her. I threw out both the guns. I threw out both the guns.
But you saw her drinking vodka knowing that there was
I
visine in there.
didn't know right away. She told me after she had about half of the cup. I didn't know. She had to get rid of the visine the day before. I didn't know she had put it in the vodka. I didn't know. She was going back and forth between her water. That's the honest to God truth. That's why I kept throwing out her waters on her, because I didn't want her to do it. And I didn't know. She drank about half the cup, and then she started getting sick, and I asked her because she kept getting sick off of it. That's the honest to God truth. That's why when you guys say it happened that day, it didn't happen that day. She was still alive that morning, so I don't know what changed. I didn't give her anything that day. She had no visine left in the house that I knew of. And there was none that you guys found, except for there was 2 in the bathroom closed. So I didn't give it to her. That's why I don't believe what they're saying, that it happened that day, because it didn't happen that day. I'm telling you. I didn't give her anything that day. She was awake and talking to me in the morning. But she wasn't all there.
You just said something that's really cute. You really did. You just said, I didn't give her some that day.
I didn't.
Did you ever do it before?
No, what I've seen is I bought it. I never mixed it. I swear to God, I bought it for her, and I knew she was mixing it. I knew that. I didn't purposely ever mix anything for her. Never. I swear to God, I'm not lying. She put it in her water once in a while and in her vodka once in a while. She kept trying more different doses. I didn't agree with it. I kept throwing out bottles of water. Anytime, that's why I told you guys, anytime that the caps were open, I was throwing them out. Because I didn't like the idea of it. She was shitting all over. She wasn't dying from it. She was shitting. It was disgusting.
But that's not what it does.
Well, that's what it was doing to her. It was eating out her body because she was literally shitting. She shit all over her bedroom on it. That was the first time she took it, and literally she called me and I wasn't even there. She called me and I got there and she had shit all over her whole room. Dead serious, she couldn't make it to the bathroom. And that's the first time she said she tried it. And I got there and there was umpteen boxes empty. And I'm not lying. Dead serious. Before that, she bought a gun. She looked at trying to buy, what's that pill online? It's some, get in other states, you supposedly a pill or a shot or something, other countries. It's like supposed to be a suicide pill or something. She looked at the hood method. She looked at a million things that I
She
didn't
looked
know.
that up.
On my phone.
On your phone?
Yep.
She used your phone to look up
All the
suicide
time.
messages, or suicide methods.
Every time I was there, she used my phone. She used my phone for her credit cards once in a while. She'd use it for shopping once in a while. She'd use it to show me something she liked. She did a lot of catalog shopping. She looked up a ton of stuff. She's bought 2 guns, and I've gotten rid of both of them.
Or she bought, so she bought 2 guns from your phone.
2 guns, using her own shit. 2 of them.
From where?
They're online places. Shit, I don't even know the names. She looked around. You custom put them together. They're not even like fully put together guns. If she's a felon, and so am I. And my mom knew about that because she knew I threw it out. I found her hiding spot and got rid of it. Because I didn't like that.
Does Scott have any guns?
Not that I know of. Maybe have a hunting something. Or not. I don't
You
know.
had 2 guns under your bed that you guys slept in. You didn't know that there were guns underneath your bed?
I did not. I'm not supposed to be
There were
around
two
guns.
long gun cases in the house that
Were
were
they
clearly
hunting
obvious. It doesn't matter because a hunting gun or a handgun.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
You know that.
I know his cousin used to have one. I didn't know he had two of them. I did not.
You didn't know there were two guns underneath
No.
your bed?
I didn't. I thought those were bow and arrows. I swear to God. I don't open them. I've never opened them. I don't have anything to do with hunting. Period. I know they're hunting. The outside is like hunting. This is why Scott doesn't know a lot of this, because I couldn't tell him how bad things were. My mom does know about the gun. She knows about some of that. I couldn't tell him because I couldn't face up the fact that things were that bad. Things got extremely bad. And she literally didn't care. She tried so many different things. Half the time I wouldn't even be there. I'd come home and find her. And usually every time I could either get her to the hospital or do whatever we needed to do. And this was the one time I couldn't. And that's why I'm telling you the only thing she had by her that day was water. And I threw out all the bottles of water I thought that she had put stuff in that were open. So that's why I really don't buy it, because I threw out all the visines prior. Not that day. So that's why I'm having a really hard time believing that. Now you know why I didn't want to tell you everything, because that's everything.
No, I don't know. I don't know why when you're sitting in a chair yesterday and we're telling you that we think you were involved in Lynn's death, and you're trying to say you don't want to make her look like a piece of shit. Well, worrying about somebody. So you would rather sit there and be accused of murder than just say Lynn was killing her, Lynn was trying to kill herself.
There's a reason why I kept wanting to talk to you guys, and I was having a hard time trying to say it. Okay, I was having a hard time in general with this for the last 2 days. So, because I got everybody in my world just lost what I had left. And I'm really mad at her for this. I'm really mad. That's the only thing my mom says the first time you question us. She goes, I'm mad at Lynn for this. I'm so mad at her for this. Because it should have never came to this. Ever. I get it, you don't want to be here, but there's got to be a better. I honestly believe that we should have that thing where if you're so sick you can go to the doctor or whatever the other states have. Because some of those things are just not the way to do it. Twice I caught her with the gun in her hand, and she couldn't do it, but that terrified the shit out of me because I have a really hard time with that kind of stuff. I don't think that's the right answer. I get it, she was sick, but I don't think there's an easy way out. I think you go to the doctor and you find out what's going on with you is what I honestly think. And she got tired because it was 3 years of them not telling her.
Give me a second here. If I plan to smoke, do you want to smoke?
Oh my God, please.
Let me see what.
As far as T-Rock, yes, she was with me that night. I actually took her. I was having the night where I was met at Lynn, and I took it because I wanted to know what she was thinking. So I tried a little bit, and I was sick. So it wasn't. Honestly,
Right.
I just didn't want to tell Scott that. The whole story.
Let's back up just a tad, okay?
Yeah.
So let's start with that since you brought it up. Chris, I obviously confronted Jesse with the information that Scott talked to us about today about her getting visine poisoning. So originally he said it was a friend. Now he said, yeah, he said that was like 3 or 4 months ago was what he thought. So tell us what happened.
I was actually we did go to Pistol Pizza that night, a girlfriend of mine named T-Rock, and 2 other guys. And when we left, I actually took visine at home because I was mad. I was having a night where I was mad lit, and I was wondering what she was thinking and why she did it. I only had a very little bit. That's why I don't know. I got sick from it. But that's true. And that was just a few months ago. I was just having one of those nights where I was mad at her for everything. I don't know her thoughts. So I get them, but I just don't. She took the easy way out. Is my opinion.
And then while you were gone, Chris, Jesse talked about how Lynn was putting visine in her vodka.
And her water. That's why I was mentioning if her water was checked, because that day I did not give her any, and there was none around. Day before, when I was sitting with her and she was drinking some vodka, she did have visine in it, and I didn't know until she had a few drinks of it. And then she told me afterward. I didn't know. She used to take it and empty it when I wasn't there, and I would just find the bottles. She's tried it for a few months. She also bought two handguns offline that you put together. I've gotten rid of both of those. In the meantime, I found them in the house and got rid of them. She's looked at trying to get the suicide pill. It's from out of the country. I don't know what it is, but it's called a suicide pill. She's looked at numerous different things. She wanted to try to hang herself from her ceiling fan in her bedroom and figured she'd be too heavy for it. She had, for months, she was thinking of anything she could. And she tried multiple things. I watched her once with the gun, and that's when she fell asleep. I took the gun out of the house, and she bought another one. And I threw them out immediately. I didn't keep them. I don't have them. I know I could find the websites if I really searched. All she did was look on my phone. And their companies, you can just buy them from me and put them together. And that's what she did. But that's why I said I'm having a hard time with that day, because I don't know of anything left that day. She had 2 full boxes in the bathroom. I thought she had one by her, but you guys said it wasn't there. I didn't take anything and move anything. I threw out bottles about 3 days before. And that's why that's how long they stay in things, because she was putting them in waters and her vodka, and the waters were always open. So when I would grab her waters, anytime I saw open ones, I was throwing those out. I was literally dumping them out because I didn't want her using them.
When we were outside, fair enough, we didn't ask any questions about the case, correct? Okay, just so that we're
And as far as the money, I want to bring that up too. I did not do anything without her consent. Lynn knew she was sick, and I was honest to God, the money she did prior, the months before, she always said, let's just have some fun. I can't do it, so I want you to do it. She gave me money all the time. Towards the end, she maxed out everything. She did not want nothing left, and half of it was she didn't want Anthony to get anything. I was asked to get the truth. She was too sick, she couldn't change the will. She wanted to change it a long time ago.
Why didn't she just go change it?
Because she was sick at that point, and she felt they wouldn't do it.
And why did she want to cut Anthony out now?
Because she hasn't talked to them in years. They weren't close with her. Like you asked me the other day, you were right on that, but she said it. I mean, my mom knew that too, as far as Anthony, that she was going to take him off, and she never did. And that's, honestly, I mean, you can ask me.
Anthony's supposed to get the car.
No. I actually have it in writing and a picture. I emailed it to you. No.
Questions, any kids those handcuffs?
No. And I honestly, I don't. Lynn also promised things to people, but she promised them to multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
He swears that he promised her the Jeep. I know Lynn's had 2 Jeeps, that one and one prior. She promised both of them to my mom. She took pictures and wrote it.
Just asking because
No, I've heard that. The same with the bracelet. Supposedly she promised it to 2 people. That's why me and Anthony said nobody's getting it. We're selling it. I mean, I went by everything she hand wrote of who got what, and I gave it to everyone. And I did send that all to you in an email.
Mm-hmm. I'm just asking. Clarifying questions.
Well, now I'm ready to give you what you want to know, because I can't do this. I can't.
So that morning when you go there,
Yep.
you go there, no more bullshit.
Nope,
I mean,
I'm
just
not.
lay it out.
Yep.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I am too. I told him I wanted to tell you. That's why I wrote you twice, and I had a hard time doing it.
We had about tables. We got you soon. You get there around what time?
I honestly don't remember the time, but obviously
Early
it was
morning, late morning.
I thought it was like maybe 9-ish, 10-ish.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
And what's Lynn like that?
She was sleeping when I got there.
Okay.
She woke up.
And she's sleeping in the chair?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We talked. I asked her, what medicine she took for the day, what she didn't take. I don't remember to what she said she did or didn't. I know we took a few. At the time, as far as the crushed pills, that she must have did after I left. She was doing that, but like I told him, she tried that numerous times and it wasn't working. But I didn't know about that until I came back. I got her a water, I asked her if she wanted a pudding. She didn't want the pudding. And that was pretty much it. We sat there for a little bit. And she dozed off in and off. That's what she normally would do anyway. And we just, I don't know, we were probably watching a soap or something. That's normally what we did together. We had our soaps. And she was in and out. And eventually I said, I have to go. I have some errands to run. And she's like, yeah, no problem. Go do your errands. And within 10 minutes, she was snoring again.
You got her a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
Are there anything else around her? She has her medicine.
Her regular, yep.
Did she get her some vodka that day?
Nope. She didn't have any vodka that day, or at least when I was there, I didn't grab it for her. So she wasn't getting up that day for anything.
Okay. And why isn't she not getting up?
She wasn't walking around well. I mean,
Okay.
she would get up occasionally, but not well.
Okay. And how long do you think you're there? If you got there like at 9.
I honestly thought it was like 2 hours. Obviously, you guys are saying it's more. I'm not saying it was. I just don't know. I really don't remember. I don't. I'm being 100% honest on that. I don't remember. And there's no reason like I'm saying I don't or I wish I did or we did something. I just don't remember. I was there all the time. I don't.
On the way to her house, did you stop anywhere? Stop at a Starbucks, stop at a Quick Trip, get a coffee. If you're a fat guy, you stop at McDonald's, get one of those bacon, eggs,
I was trying to think
bagels.
maybe I got us cigarettes or something that day, but no. Not that I can think of. If I would have stopped anywhere, I would have cigarettes or gas. That would be it.
We're not a coffee girl,
No.
or nothing like that.
I drink tea.
And
I
stuff-
tea, I like that.
stuff for tea.
If anything, it would have been gas or cigarettes if I stopped.
Trying to jog your memory a little
I
bit.
know.
Some people have a routine every morning.
Yeah.
And they stop. I stop. I think.
Well, honestly, I was stopping every couple of days because I was driving back and forth so much. But I'm not ringing a bell of anything that I did except going there.
And you're driving the car you have now.
Yep.
So you go there. You take care of her a little bit. You watch a little TV.
Yep.
And then you go run and do your errands. And you're doing errands for you mostly.
Yeah, the only thing that she needed was water, and I think that was it. Maybe pudding? I don't know. Offhand, but I don't think she did. No. When I went for the store to her, it was literally, she wasn't eating, so it was water, the same things I'd always get, water, visine, and she really was putting visine in her eyes too, like crazy. I'm not saying that's where it all went, but she did, she used half a bottle in her eyes in a day. They were so dry. I don't know where that came from, but
Was it dry in her place? I mean,
well, she smoked in there, and I haven't smoked in a whole 9 years.
Okay, don't say you don't smoke. I just thought.
No, we haven't smoked. None of us smoke in our homes except for her. So that was the one thing we always smoked. So it was very smoky, obviously, in the cats. But
My mind's so sensitive to dry. Oh, it's so dry in the house.
Yeah.
It's so dry here.
yeah,
Hotel rooms are real dry.
that's me here right now.
So it wasn't like that.
No,
So you need something. Okay.
no.
So you go and you do your shopping
Mhm.
and you pick up water for her, maybe
Yep.
some other little item.
Yep.
And then where do you go?
I went back home to Scott's.
To Scott's.
Yep.
This time you're living with Scott
Yes.
in October.
Yep.
Did you feel when you living there?
Well, okay, let's put it this way. I wasn't living
Did
there.
you feel those things you're
No,
living there?
I know.
And of course that's so,
yes, I don't want to say living with him because I wasn't full time. She knew I would stay by him, so I don't want to say living because I really wasn't. I'd stay by him half the week and mom half the week because I was still paying part of my mom's rent. So, and he had a roommate at the time, his cousin.
Wow.
So I don't want to say living with him, but I usually did buy groceries, whatever, for there. So
How long have you guys been together? No one ever asked.
3.5 years
3.5 years.
since I got out.
And how'd you meet him?
Scotty's. We knew from before I used to work there.
Oh, okay. West
But-
Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
And so you pick up the groceries
Mhm.
and you go to West Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You drop off the
Yep.
groceries and then you hang out with him. He's not there. He's
No,
there.
he was there. We sat and talked maybe for, 20 minutes, a half hour.
Okay.
And then I went straight back to Lynn's. Didn't go anywhere else.
And you took one to Lynn's.
Yep. And I had 2 cases of water in my trunk.
So when you're going up to the house, I assume you got a case of water in your hand.
Yep.
To the condo.
No. I always unlock the door first to come back.
Okay.
That's just, my routine. It's easier.
And what do you find?
I thought she was sleeping when I walked in.
Okay.
She was in the chair because usually every time I walk in, she's sleeping. So I thought she was sleeping, but she's a very loud snorer, or has been for the last month.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden I walked in and it just didn't seem right. The TV was on, which was always on. and it was loud, but I looked over and I'm like, I don't notice her snoring. I didn't hear that, so I did like a double take because I was ready to walk back out and grab the water. Because I said, hey, Lynn, like my usual. And I didn't grab the water, and my trunk was open. I pushed the button to grab it, and I went right up to her right away, and I'm like, Lynn. And I don't know if I touched her face or listened to her breath, because I know I did both of them, but I don't know what one I did first. And I knew something was wrong immediately, because when I went to touch her, the way her body just shifted, and it wasn't like a good shift. And I grabbed the phone right away.
Okay.
Right away.
And you called 911.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to touch her too much and do anything wrong, because I didn't know, and that's when they said, well, tilt her head back and do all this. And
so did you do any of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they told me to tilt her head back because they said, see if you're getting any, breathing out of her mouth, and then they wanted me to check for a pulse. So I did both of them. And I was already outside when I called because I panicked. I knew right away this wasn't good. And I didn't notice she was breathing or not, but I just knew it was bad. And I've never seen her like that before.
I wasn't there. I had the neighbors around. I went outside.
Well, she always has the same ones that walk the dogs, and they're out and about. And June was outside with somebody walking the dog. She feeds the dogs. She was outside with her dad, but that was it.
And you asked for help or help for help? Or?
No, because I ran back in because they told me to do, check for whatever. So I did that.
Okay.
And then I said, there's no pulse whatsoever. There's no breath, nothing.
You know how to check for a pulse?
Yeah. I had to take CPR too, so yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll be at the dental office. We had to take the course, so.
Okay, some people.
Because I was going to they asked me to do CPR, but then I said, there's nothing. And they wanted me to lay her flat on the ground. And I said, she's in a chair. I can't pick her up. There's no way. So they told me to push it back, but that was as good as I could get.
Did you do CPR?
No.
Again, I wasn't at the scene ever. She was almost, how big was she? Was she real big?
She was on and off in her weight, but towards the last 6 months, she was pretty big. When we were in the hospital, I remember she was laying flat. She never lays flat.
Uh-huh.
And she was laying flat, and her stomach was so bloated.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh my gosh, she didn't notice until she was, and even the doctor said the same thing.
What was it bloated from? Do you remember what they said?
I think she just had a bunch of gas, to be honest, because they were pushing around and they did a bunch of x-rays, because she always had stomach problems her whole life. The last 3 years.
Okay. And then obviously the troops come, the police and the firemen,
Yeah.
and they take care of business, and you provide your statement, blah, blah, blah. And you probably don't recall this, but did you see water bottles or anything around her at the time?
I don't recall, but I know she always had one or two by her, because usually when I left her, she always asked for a second, just in case she couldn't make it up.
Hold on a second. Pardon me?
So not your head.
I think something going on.
But I'm pretty sure she would have.
I apologize. We're going to have the short short. We have another body.
Are you,
We'll come get you tomorrow?
we'll finish this up tomorrow, and
Yeah.
we'll, you still okay with the marbles?
Okay.
All right.
Grab your water. Can't get with you in the jail, so.
Yeah.
If you want nice tea, clean water.
You want an iced tea or something tomorrow? So you drink iced tea, because they're
Awesome.
like a sweet tea or an iced tea.
I drink Snapple, but I lost. I got to drink any of it.
All right, we'll figure out.
Do you want me to dump that in there?
Yeah,
You're done with it?
that'd be great.
In the next segment, we will watch Jessie take some responsibility for the death of Lynn, but only if she can take a vacation from jail. Let's see if her negotiating skills are sharp enough to get what she wants. Watch with us tomorrow, same time, same place. In the next segment, we will watch Jessie take some responsibility for the death of Lynn, but only if she can take a vacation from jail. Let's see if her negotiating skills are sharp enough to get what she wants. Watch with us tomorrow, same time, same place.